Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. So I want to talk on this very controversial topic that really gets a lot of people annoyed, especially the residents of Lagos and people of Yoruba extraction. Does Lagos smell? That's a very important question. I will answer it clean and clear. I'm not going to be biased. And in this video, I'm going to fit this Corper that's been trading, this Ushile Ugamaya. I think she's Cross Rivian, and fit Aina. And I'm going to fit other cities like Johannesburg, Cape Town, and other cities, Accra, whatever, whatever. So the question is, does Lagos smell? So a lot of people in Nigeria have done videos saying that Lagos smells. And when they see it, you see a lot of people countering it. It's like these people don't want people to say their minds. Now, I remember this Corper. Um, for one of our annoyance, apart from the high inflation, is that there's no green area to walk to. There's no way you can take walks and all those things. Even Taya, the Yoruba guy mentioned in his video that one of the reasons why I left for Portugal was because there was no green environment. There was no, peaceful and calm place. So first of all, let me say this thing. State the fact: Lagos is overcrowded and overpopulated. But Lagos is not the most overpopulated city in the world. I think Japan, Tokyo, is very populated. Yet I've never seen people complain of smell. Now there are some other cities that are very rich that people also complain of smell, like New York. New York is in America and people complain it smells. So, but the problem I have with Nigerians is that many of them don't say the truth, and that's why politicians see them as fools. Now, since I was born, I've never heard that a lot of people have been complaining of this Lagos smell since the 80s. And I never heard that, oh, the Lagos state government has budgeted $100 million to clean up Lagos. In fact, there have never been an aggressive cleaning program or campaign. In fact, we hear that some of these residential buildings or industrial complexes pour their sewage straight into the gutters. Lagos water is black. I noticed it when I stayed there. Even the highbrow areas and the it's even worse in the low cost areas. It stinks. I've been to Ojota, it stinks. Uh, and the hygiene system of the place, you will see BB grass. So are we going to? So is it that people don't want people to say the truth to address the smell? So because the people are not Yorubas, they should not say that the place smells. Thank God this lady is not even Igbo. It would have been another tribalistic and ethnic bigotry going on in this conversation. She's from the South South. Now, what pains me when they have this argument, you see these Ronu people, these Ronu stance in saying that tribalistic bigots say you should go back to your state. Which go back to which your stupid state? It was Niger Delta money they used to build that Lagos. Niger Delta money, all those flyovers, all those bridges, National Theatre, National. It was Niger Delta money. It was oil from the south part of Nigeria, majorly that was used to be there. So you don't have any right to tell anybody to go back to your state. And as far as we are still practicing this state system, you can't have any right. If it was regional, then you have a little right. You can say, oh, you people are making sense, but it doesn't even still make sense. As far as you're in that Nigeria, you have right to criticize any state government. As far as you're living there, as far as you're paying tax, you have the right. So generally, many Nigeria is a stinking place. Let us say the truth. Many states in Nigeria smell. Many. And like I've said, in Nigeria is a giant slum because 70% of urban areas in Nigeria are slums. But people don't want to say the truth. How do you know a slum? The kind of buildings there, the drainage is open. Do they have water? Do they have sewage? They have basically nothing. They don't even have green areas. When you watch videos of South Africa, and when South Africans see places like Johannesburg, you see them crying that this place is not like this before. But their own is that they will say it's foreigners that destroyed it, which I think is totally wrong. You understand? Because if you also look at it, there's an element of truth there. The major places where there's a lot of foreigners in their cities, it stinks. We can mention Yeovil. Let me talk of South Africa. You can mention Yeovil and Sunnyside. They will say Nigerians and other foreigners went there, and they turn the place to small Lagos and turn it to a dustbin, and it's true. There's an element of truth in it. But it's not only these people that live there. Even South African townships. I'm not defending the foreigners now. Even South African townships, most of them are stinking too. You understand? So maybe it's a problem of education from the primary level, where these things are not taught in schools, hygiene and cleanliness and This, and I've seen videos in China where children are even taught how to clean their bombs. I don't know whether we'll have that type of curriculum, how to clean the environment. Tokyo is very populated, but I've never heard anybody that did the video here see the place things. Never, not once. There's no greenery, there's no plants in the full Lagos and many Nigerian cities. I've always mentioned it. I cannot live in Anambra. I cannot live in Onitsha free of charge, because that place too is another dirty place, dirty environment. So sometimes those are the things that make me even question what P2B really did, even though I still think he's the best candidate. But if you look at Onitsha and look at majority part of 90, let me say 80% of Lagos, you will not vote for P2B or Tinubu, for those that voted them. So Taya ran away from Nigeria to Portugal because he said there was no place that was calm, no greenery, that everybody looks chaotic, and it's true. Everywhere just urban settlement. So are these people saying the truth that Lagos smells? Yes, it smells. It smells. And you will see it's many of these Rono that live in poor areas that will come and be defending it. I'm telling you, 80% of Lagos is a shithole. It's not. I'm not saying it because I hate it. The same thing with Onitsha. The same thing with northern part of Nigeria. Now, why do people always talk about Lagos? Lagos is our most popular city. Lagos is even more popular than Abuja. Now, we have mentioned it on this channel. Lagos is overpopulation. The number of people is more than the infrastructure. Why don't you take the seaports to another area? Open seaports in other area. People will move, because the main reason why people move is for economic reason, not because they like Lagos. People are going to move. Take them to economic areas. Open a seaport in Warri. Open in Calabar. Decongest Lagos. People are going to move. It's the seaport that is making many people to come there. Open railway lines all over the place. In the Lagos, in the south, and this, connect it to other regions. Go and look at how China. People should use China as a prototype to see how development go. From the seaport, they will open cargo railways down into the mainland. People don't even need to come to the seaside. They will stay in their region. Do you understand what I'm saying? And China also have some control mechanisms so that the place is not overpopulated. So it's economic industries and factories that make people to move Lagos, not because they like the place. So all of you are saying people should go back to their state. It's South money. They used to build that Lagos that all of you are making noise. And the people that develop Lagos is people from different tribes in that country. I've lived there and I know how it is. The Igbos, the Akwa Ibom people, the Northerners, everybody contributed to building that urban Lagos. So people should stop making. Lagos is not a development of just Yorubas. It was maybe, let's say, 50% Yorubas and 50% other tribes, or even more safe if you even really do a real data. So instead of our leadership to do the right thing, they start attacking this Corper this Corper girl that said the truth. Let them invest money in cleaning up that city. Look at Makoko. They say the water there is brackish and sewage. Is it that nobody can stop that sewage or whatever from flowing into there? It's flowing from somewhere. You understand? It's flowing from somewhere. So your swamps and all those things, you have drained all of them. You don't know there's consequence. Even that one, it also has its own consequence. You're draining your swamps. And all those things flooding, and those flooding will carry sewage and everything. So there's a whole link in the whole thing. The whole country is just the urban slum. That's why I remember one American lady came to Nigeria and said there's no fine place in Lagos for her to take picture, and she is right. It's not like there are no fine places. The percentage of fine places is very little. I've lived in rich areas in Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. I've also lived in poor areas, and I know what I'm saying. But why I always say South Africa is far ahead of Nigeria in infrastructure. At least in South Africa, you can say 60% or 65% is fantastic of infrastructure. Then let's say even 70% fantastic, then 30% is just shit. And black South Africans will blame foreigners. And if you really look at it, there might be element of small truth, because the place is now, the population is more than the infrastructure a little bit, and it's pressuring it. You understand? But South Africa also has green areas. Compared to Nigeria, no green area. The government doesn't even promote people to plant trees. Most of our houses, there's no building laws. Some people build houses, they don't plaster it. the interlocking in the floor in the house. There's no regulation. Everybody just do anyhow. No greenery. There's no regulation on people planting trees. Even buildings, water collector. You don't know that water collector prevents the rain from washing. There's no painting laws where people must paint their houses after. Those things are part of the aesthetics of a city. The architecture in Nigeria is just another mess. Our old architecture somehow even, I was looking at the old architecture in Lagos, it looks far better than many of these modern things they are building. People will build houses, they will just choke the whole thing. I was looking at the old architecture, you know. So many of the things we do in Nigeria, people don't like to say the truth. But it's only the truth that will make the leadership to do the right thing. And you expect the leaders, when you criticize them, they should be proactive, but no, they will start looking for who criticize them. All these supporters, when they make these leaders, they misbehave. Make una they use on our brain. Because many of una brain don't congeal. So, compared to Johannesburg, Cape Town, let's not even talk Cape Town. Cape Town is far, far ahead of Nigeria in every aspect. Compared to Johannesburg, Accra, Kenya, and Morocco, does Lagos smell? A million times. Let our leadership do the right thing so that this country will progress. Does Onitsha smell? Yes, Onitsha smells. Does northern Nigeria, many parts smell? Yes, especially those places that have big cities. Yes. In Nigeria, the places that don't smell is the small towns most times, because they have low population and they're still it's not a concrete jungle per se, and the rural areas but you will see in Nigeria, even in places that are not too developed, you will see people, they will pack refuse, indiscriminate refuse and everything. Look at Oti. Aba was a stink hole, but you can see Oti is trying to change his narrative. That's what people expect Lagos government to do. You understand what I'm saying? Take criticism in good faith. As far as you're elected, take it. It's part of the system. Don't come and tell people to go back to Lagos. It was built by Niger Delta money. Let that sink into your head. Lagos is the only place I hear that tribalistic nonsense. Go back to your state. Did your father contribute to anything that made Lagos what it is? Make una dey shut up. Lagos is Nigeria entertainment capital. In fact, some people outside Nigeria think it is the main capital. It's the most popular city. It's the commercial capital. So you people don't have any rights to tell anybody to go back to yours. If you want people to go back to your state, then stop taking money from Niger Delta, or look for a way to compensate Niger Delta back. Then you have the right to say anything you want to say. Nonsense.